The craggy spine of the northern Maine mountains is a treacherous path, even for the most determined souls.
The deep forests of northern Maine are not merely woods. They are a vast, breathing sepulcher of forgotten earth, where the sun is a rumor and silence reigns supreme. It was into this deep oblivion, where the very concept of cellular connectivity is mocked by miles of ancient growth, that my lady came.
A woman of profound Celtic grace,
With skin the color of burnished copper, eyes like polished obsidian, and hair the night itself.
and I venture.
Our destination was a remote trout pond, accessible only by a serpentine ribbon of dirt track. A perfect precipice from which to observe the void. Having established our crude, solitary camp near the water's edge, we were yet restless. It was then, as the boreal evening began to draw its suffocating curtains of gloom, that we were granted our first.
Profound visitation.
Our eyes, scanning the rapidly fading sky, seized upon an apparition, a colossal metallic vessel, vast and alien, reminiscent of some impossible geometric anomaly. It hovered in the air, not flying, but existing, tilted at a disquieting 45 degrees. From its underbelly issued 4 great lamps, their light a stunning magnesium blue-white, casting a pallor over the high pines.
Was the distance, was unnervingly intimate.
Perhaps 500 paces separating our fragile existence from its titanic silence. The object did not move so much as it drifted, a sentient derelict in the ether. And then, as if it possessed the very faculty of erasure, it edged behind the mass of a monumental, towering pine and simply failed to reappear. It did not ascend nor swerve, it merely ceased to be visible, leaving behind an ineffable absence where a moment prior, a sky monster had hung suspended. We retreated to the meager sanity of our fire, the uncanny visitation having sharpened the keen edge of the night's potential. We sat with hot chocolate, the damp air thick and clinging before us. A thin grove of hemlock trees offered a lattice-work view of the pond, where the last melancholy movements of waterfowl could be discerned. It was from the left, the shadowed heart of the grove, that the second and far more terrifying phenomenon began. At first it was nothing less than nothing, a mere trick of the eye, a heat shimmer upon the evening air, the kind of spectral distortion one might observe above a summer desert road. It was so faint, so easily dismissible as a floater in the eye or the transient glint from the wing of some nocturnal insect, that the mind fought desperately to rationalize it away. But the movement persisted, a vertical disturbance 15 feet in height, moving deliberately from left to right. We saw it, then lost it behind a thick spruce, then saw it again, slightly more pronounced as it edged past an ancient cedar. The shimmering, the wavering of the space it occupied began to take on a more defined, colossal shape, a clear echo of the predator's chilling invisibility. The air itself seemed to crackle under the strain of holding such mass in a state of visible non-existence. The disturbance finally gained the rightmost edge of our sight. It moved behind a single enormous tree, and in the next heartbeat, the very fabric of our reality shredded. It did not emerge gradually. It simply materialized. From the shadow of the hemlock stepped forth an absolute abomination of scale, 15 feet of raw, athletic, glistening power. My breath caught in a rattling gasp, a sound swallowed instantly by the vast indifference of the forest. My brain, the poor, frail organ of reason, simply failed. It could not process the colossal, impossible reality of what stood before us. The creature was a monolithic sculpture of muscle, entirely and impossibly inky black. Its surface seemed damp and shiny, absorbing the residual light. Its great, broad shoulders carried a surprisingly small, round head. Its limbs were lanky, its arms extending far longer than any human antelope. Yet its musculature was terrifyingly humanoid, easily 4,000 pounds of raw, sentient mass, a being that could, with casual ease, stoop and lift a full-grown moose in each hand. It was an object of pure physical impossibility, a nightmare given staggering, undeniable form. Yet, as suddenly as it had been thrust upon our sight, the impossibility performed its second confounding act. The colossus took a step, a silent earth-shaking step, and walked directly into the trunk of a massive pine. There was no sound, no crunch of needles, no breaking of branches, no tearing of bark. It was not swallowed by the tree. It simply turned invisible in the act of passing the threshold. One instant, the mass stood revealed. The next, only the unwavering, silent trunk of the pine remained.
Lady K, whose courage eclipses my own, broke the paralyzing spell of the moment. She volunteered to verify the spot. We descended to the location, using her stunning 5'5" frame as a baseline. At the point of the creature's manifestation, it was evident that the Sasquatch had towered at least 3 times her height, a verifiable 15 feet. We scoured the immediate area. No impression marred the delicate carpet of needles and duff. No scent of musk or rot hung in the stagnant air. If a moose, a mere beast of the earth, had passed through, the evidence would have been a chaotic trail of snapped branches and crushed underbrush. Yet, this obsidian colossus, a true leviathan of the unknown, had moved with a silence so profound that it was as if it had traversed not the physical ground, but the very ether of an adjacent dimension. The encounter concluded not with a dramatic flight or roar, but with a terrifying absolute silence, a final maddening question hanging in the desolate air of the northern Maine woods. What did I see? The true horror began the moment the creature vanished. I was submerged in an absolute, abject shock and awe, not of fear, but of existential betrayal. This was the first time in my life I had seen something more than a fleeting shadow. This creature, in its fully materialized form, was 100% solid, real, and standing right there. There was no question. The massive giant was as real as the reality it had just shattered. This confrontation immediately initiated a terrifying, twofold internal crisis. First, it forced me to question the tangible substance of this very reality. If these creatures, these impossibly large, invisible titans, live here, what else thrives in the unlit corners of our perception? Are there werewolves, demons, aliens whose existence I must now concede? Will I see a unicorn next? Second, the chilling social implication: people are going to think I am utterly crazy. The typical Sasquatch, the largest ever reported, tops out at 10 feet to claim an athletic, glistening 15-foot giant is to cross the threshold from eccentric belief into delusion. Yet, this impossible stature found a dark resonance in the legends of the stone-mounting giants and the folklore of the First Nations people of this region, who speak of the tall man, a colossal forest creature, a myth made flesh that stands as tall as the trees. My heart, soul, spirit, and mind have been irrevocably altered. The very essence of how I now interact with the physical world is poisoned by this knowledge. The giant may have disappeared, but it has left behind an infinite, terrifying new scope of existence, ensuring that I will walk through the world forever haunted by the possibility of the next unspeakable materialization.